Hey, y'all, I'm back. Do you some more songs you may or may not know. My name's Kyle Keller. I live here in Gainesville, Florida. But I was born in Saginaw, Michigan. Grew up in South Georgia, in a little town called Nashville. So I've been all over. Not to be mistaken with Nashville, Tennessee. It's nothing like it. If you know where Valdosta and Tifton is, you kind of know where Nashville, Georgia is. In the middle of nowhere. Well, I was standing by my window on one cold and cloudy day when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I said to that undertaker, undertaker, please drive slow. For that lady you are carrying, Lord, I hate to see her go. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. So I followed close behind her, tried to hold up and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Thanks, y'all. That's Will the Circle Be Unbroken. Old folk tune. It's a tune I wrote called Learning to Love Where You've Been. Well, when I was a kid, didn't have much to say. When my parents split up and went their separate ways, Daddy went went south for work, I had a choice to make. So I headed south with him to find some sort of change. Well, I've always been looking for my own paradise, but it was hard to find in the snow and the ice. I'll admit I weren't happy for quite some time, till one day in December something changed my mind. Now the sun's gone down in South Georgia and the cotton's grown white as can be. Well, 70 degrees in late December seems like a piece of paradise to me. Well, I did some learning and I did some burning, and I got so high I thought I could write a song. Well, and I played some chords and they sounded like shit. Well, my fingers bled, but I just kept on playing. Now the sun's going down in South Georgia, feels like some sort of dream. If it weren't for the past, maybe I wouldn't have found the person that I wanted to be. Well, I've still got my home in the Great Lakes, and I still got my home in the pines. I guess home's more like a feeling, more like a state of mind. Now the sun's going down, South Georgia feels like some sort of dream. We're learning to love where you've been. We'll help you learn how to love where you'll be. Oh, learning to love where you've been. We'll help you learn how to love where you'll be. Learning to love where you've been. We'll help you learn how to love where you'll be. Thanks, y'all. This is a song I wrote called Learning to Love Where You've Been. I appreciate it very much. Let's see here. This is a song I wrote called Time Changes Everything. This one I was kind of in the mindset of reminiscing on taking long road trips with my dad as a teenager and going up to Wisconsin with him on these hunting trips. And I never got into hunting myself, but I just went on these trips just to go have a good time and see the world a little bit. So we went up to Wisconsin quite a bit in the wintertime to go on these hunting trips, and I wrote this song all about all those times with him. The smell of the morning brings me back to the highway. A truck stop, cup of coffee, my home to my back. Well, I was 19, not worried about a damn thing. I've got a guitar in the back and a song to sing. Well, I watch the sunrise from a passenger seat. I watch the sunset from a hotel in Tennessee. It was so easy to live in the moment way back then. Oh, I've been trying to find that feeling ever since. And it came so easy, with nothing dragging you down. Well, when you got no bills to pay and you're young and free. Well, Merle Haggard on the radio sounded pretty damn good to me. But ain't it funny how time twists and turns and changes everything? Thank you, appreciate it. Well, my daddy'd say, just do right, kid. Talk to some strangers, gonna make some friends. Throw out your mirrors, 'cause you got no one to impress. Oh, I've been trying to live by it ever since. And it came so easy, nothing's dragging you down. When you got no bills to pay and you're young and free. Well, Hank Williams on the radio sounded pretty damn good to me. But ain't it funny how time twists and turns and changes everything? Ain't it funny how time twists and turns and changes everything? Thanks, y'all. Time changes everything. Thank you. Yeah, I don't play that one a whole lot. I don't know why. I did. I don't know if any of the fine folks that are here right now were here then, however. That was much earlier in the night, so I could do it again. I'll do it. It's the only love song I've ever written. You'd think love songs would be easy. Love songs are hard to write, mostly because that's what I'm saying. Like broken-hearted songs are easy. I can write that all day. Love songs are a little tougher, but in my opinion, part of why it's so tough is because of the inability to express what that is and do it in a way that does justice to it. That's the hard part. Also, I've heard a lot of really corny love songs that I can't stand. So there's that. I say that as I'm about to play this corny love song. There's a little corny in there, just a little bit, just a tad. It's called "I Love You Like the Garden." Should I disclose what you asked me before? You were like, I hope you're still with that person you wrote that about or something. And I said, nope. It's okay, though. I'm with someone better now. I think of her when I play this song now. Wait, how's it go? I got- okay. Could I be everything you wanted? Could I be everything you need? Well, I bet I'd stand up to it, only if you would let me. Well, I love you like the river loves the rain and loves the wind. Oh, I love you like the devil loves sin. Could I love you through the seasons? Could I love you through the war? Well, you know I've seen your darker sides and I only love you more. Oh, I love you like a mountain loves the snow upon its peak. And I love you more than words could ever speak. Could I be everything you wanted? Could I be everything you need? I bet I'd stand up to it, only if you would let me. Well, I love you like the garden loves a tender, loving hand. I love you like the lonely love a friend. Could I be everything you wanted? Could I be everything you need? Oh, I bet I'd be alright, only if you would let me. Well, I love you like the pages of a book love to be read. I love you like I'll never love again. Oh, I love you like I'll never love again. Thanks, y'all. Love song for you. I guess that means we'll do a heartbreak one now, right? No. That song was kind of my attempt to write. I wanted to write a song that was at least like a quarter of the way beautiful that Townes Van Zant's "I'll Be Here in the Morning" is. Because in my opinion, that's the most beautiful love song ever written. And I was like, I want to at least come somewhere close to that. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Still. Do a tune called Slow Down Memphis, I call it. It's not particularly about Memphis, Tennessee, but it was written thanks to a series of large electronic signs that me and my buddy Austin saw going into Memphis while we were on tour. Not last April, but the April before that, and we were going into Memphis. And yeah, like every so often, there's this giant sign that says "Slow Down, Memphis." Makes it was like pretty erratic driving over there, but it wasn't really as bad as like Washington D.C. I would say, or Detroit or Atlanta. All three of those, I'd say I was way more scared for my life than I was in Memphis. But I saw those signs and I like kind of knew I wanted to write something about it, and I didn't know what. And it took me about a year after that tour to finally figure out what I wanted to write about it. And it became this song where Memphis kind of becomes a character who engages in reckless behaviors. And I wanted to relate it to kind of our habits on the highway and how people treat each other on the highway in the juxtaposition of that and how we treat each other on the internet, because when there's the divide, like when you're not face to face with somebody, it just opens the door for all the chaos. And when you're like in front of people in an actual real life setting like this, it's a nice time. And you wouldn't think so sometimes looking at the internet. It's like, oh gosh, things are really bad. And then you go out to a place like this and you're like, maybe not. But anyways, it's kind of a long-winded way to explain the song. It's my attempt to kind of empathize with all those reckless behaviors that we all can and will get into. Slow down, Memphis, the weather's rolling in. Oh, slow down, Memphis, the weather's rolling in. Well, it's kind of like your pain ain't no amount of rain is ever gonna wash away your sins. Well, you're going 90, the limit's 55. Oh, you're going 90, the limit's 55. There's plenty of warning signs, but you don't pay no mind. You'll be lucky if you make it out alive. Slow down, Memphis, the weather's rolling in. Oh, slow down, Memphis, the weather's rolling in. Well, it's kind of like your pain ain't no amount of rain is ever gonna wash away your sins. Well, you gotta stop for coffee and a smoke. Oh, you gotta stop for coffee and a smoke. There's a man off to the side, said he got the things you like. Grab that needle, man, you're back on down the road. And you had a gal on the Mississippi line. Oh, you had a gal on the Mississippi line. She loved another man, good thing you found a friend with that needle and that spoon on your bedside. Slow down, Memphis, the weather's rolling in. Oh, slow down, Memphis, the weather's rolling in. Well, it's kind of like your pain ain't no amount of rain is ever gonna wash away your sins. Well, if I believed in God, you know I'd pray. Oh, if I believed in God, you know I'd pray. But instead I'll take your hand and try to help you stand one more time before the highway takes your name. Slow down, Memphis, the weather's rolling in. Oh, slow down, Memphis, the weather's rolling in. Well, it's kind of like your pain ain't no amount of rain is ever gonna wash away your sins. Oh, it's kind of like your pain ain't no amount of rain is ever gonna wash away your sins. Thanks, y'all. A little switch on the harp here. Old Zoltar, man, let me tell you what. Here's the longest title of a song I have. Who's that walking ragged alone down the road? I call it. It's a long title. That's a long one. This is a pretty new one too. I wrote this one back in February, and I was heading up north to Michigan to go, unfortunately, to my grandmother's funeral on my father's side. Leona was her name. And I was like working my way up from Birmingham. We were at my girlfriend's place, her parents' place, sorry, in Birmingham there, and I was working my way up on 65 North, and it was particularly cold. I don't know if y'all remember February, but we had that little couple weeks that was very cold. And it was very cold up there, cold enough to where there was huge icicles on all the rock cuts on 65 that I'd never seen before. It was really cool, actually. They were huge. And I'd never seen that in the southeast, really. It doesn't happen a lot, so it was very cold. And there's a fellow walking down the highway with all his belongings, looking all alone and ragged, as my title would explain. And I don't know what it was about the particular man that hit me so much, but probably on account of the fact I was heading up to Michigan to bury my grandmother. I was on emotional alert, and I've seen a million people in that same position and never written a song about it until now. And so this one's really for him and for all the other folks I've seen in such a situation when they find themselves with nowhere to go. Because I try to remind myself that could be me at any time, or any of us, and it's a sad thing to see. But I wrote this song about it, and about kind of that fella in particular, and kind of my thoughts on wishing maybe I'd stopped and given him a ride. But I was on the way up north, no time to stop. Or maybe we always have time, we just don't allow it, I don't know. But it's kind of my thoughts on it. It's called Who's That Walking Ragged Alone Down the Road? I got a dead note in my harmonica. Something's in there. Hold on, sorry. I got to mess with that, actually. Well, something's in there. Oh. It was one of my beard hairs. That's hilarious, actually. It was literally, that happens sometimes. I'll be in the middle of a song and I'll go to do it, and it'll just like get caught right here, and I'll have to rip it out in the middle of the set, and it's very painful. Anyways, now that I ruined my heartfelt intro into the song, well, 18 degrees don't come often round here. When they talk of snow, you can tell there's some fear. But while you're sitting warm in your suburban home, who's that walking ragged alone down the road? Who's that walking ragged alone down the road? Who's that walking ragged alone down the road? Well, I was headed to Huntsville, I didn't have much time, or else I'd have pulled over and offered a ride. But that image still haunts me, his tattered old clothes. Who's that walking ragged alone down the road? Who's that walking ragged alone down the road? Who's that walking ragged alone down the road? Well, he could be a friend, a father or fool, or maybe just a man who couldn't play by the rules. But I guess precious time can be bought with a fate. You could fly with the wind, or you could fall with the leaves. Well, 18 degrees, man, that ain't warm. And come Christmas Day, there's a knock on your door. Oh, but he walks in shame as you tell him to leave. Who's that walking ragged? Could be you or me. Who's that walking ragged? Could be you or me. Who's that walking ragged? Could be you or me. Thank y'all very much. Who's that walking ragged? That was we got a little dark. A little dark. It's all right. It's getting dark outside too. That is unfortunately true. There's some not so good dark stuff out there too. Let's see. Well, I do have a song that I call a silly song with serious undertones. Called The Paycheck Blues. Because I would normally ask the question, how many of y'all had a paycheck that just didn't pay the bills? And then nobody raises their hand, then I feel bad. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. So I'm like, y'all lying to me, it's all right. And I'm like, look at me, I'm a musician. You think my paychecks pay the bills? No. Do I even make paychecks? No. It's kind of not how this business works. But if you do have a job where the government takes a certain amount of money from your check every week, they may or may not be sending that money that they take from you to where you would like it to go. And the song's kind of like that. Well, every 2 weeks I get a little paycheck, 200 for water and 2,000 for rent. Well, all I got left's about 50 cents. The tax man coming now to take the rest. I got the paycheck blues, the paycheck blues. I'm skin and bones and the bills are due. I threw my last quarter in the wishing well, but my wishes ain't coming true. Well, every 2 weeks I get a little paycheck. After health insurance, I got $1 left. The church house says I'll take the rest. If you give it to God, son, you're gonna be blessed. I got the paycheck blues, the paycheck blues. I'm skin and bones and the bills are due. Well, I spent my last dollar on a prayer, but my prayers ain't coming true. Well, now the president's flying in his private plane. The preacher bought an island where it don't rain. And I'm still working my fingers to the bone so the bombs can just fall on some other man's home. I got the paycheck blues, the paycheck blues. I'm skin and bones and the bills are due. Well, I spent my last dollar on a war and lies they're telling me and you. I got the paycheck blues, Lord, the paycheck blues. I'm skin and bones and the bills are due. I spent my last dollar on a war and lies they're telling me, lies they're telling me, lies they're telling me and you. Thanks, y'all. That's the paycheck blues. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for listening. Here's a song I wrote about the beautiful state of Florida and the attempt to develop it into oblivion. It's called Torn and Paved. We're way down south by the old Gulf Coast. There's a big old hole in the ground. And deep below that cold blue water, there's some treasure to be found. Well, the Spanish moss hangs over native graves being torn and paved to make $1. They do it all the way in the Everglades and all the way up to the mountain holler. Well, I used to hear the ghost of Osceola on the Seminole wind and the sandhill crying. Well, now I just hear the roar of the highway and roadkill neath the campaign sign. Well, the Spanish moss hangs over native graves being torn and paved to make $1. They do it all the way in the Everglades and all the way up to the mountain holler. The Spanish moss hangs over native graves being torn and paved to make $1. They do it all the way in the Everglades and all the way up to the mountain holler, all the way up to the mountain holler, all the way up to the mountain holler. Thank y'all. That one's called Torn and Paved. Here's a country song I wrote. Maybe they're all country songs. Since She Knows How to Love You Tonight, I call it. It's about fleeting love. Well, she sure knows how to love you, whether she loves you or not. So don't open your eyes too wide, or you'll see all she's got. They say don't take a chance on a feeling, but I've already made up my mind. Well, tomorrow she might leave you wondering, but she knows how to love you tonight. Well, she comes and goes like the rain falls, like an old friend knocking on the door. She's wild and free like the weather, and you know it makes me love her even more. But I wish she would look in my eyes just for a little more time. Well, tomorrow she might leave you crying, but she knows how to love you tonight. And well, I've never been sure nothing. I'd stand in the dark and I'd curse at the moon. And then she let me open a gate, and I fell in love under skies so blue. Well, we watched as autumn fell down and her eyes were on fire. I learned who I was. Well, I've never been sure nothing till I held her hand and I tasted the sun. Well, she sure knows how to love you, whether she loves you or not. So don't open your eyes too wide, or you'll see all she's got. They say don't take a chance on a feeling, but I've already made up my mind. Well, tomorrow she might leave you hopeless, but she knows how to love you. She knows how to love you. She knows how to love you tonight. Thanks, y'all. That's called She Knows How to Love You Tonight. Mm-hmm. Do it? What word? Oh, the love word. That one is, yeah, that one's the fleeting aspect of it, you know? Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to think of what new ones maybe you haven't heard yet. There's a few. Maybe. Do you remember hearing one called Where the Pines Touch Heaven? You heard that one? It's called Where the Pines Touch Heaven. I played it earlier, but no one is. It's not the same people. It's all recycled. Need a C harp. Uh, Tomorrow, Jacksonville.
Saturday at the Bowl. Do what? At the Bowl, yeah, Saturday, yeah. With my friend Adam Cotton from Jacksonville. So that'll be fun. No, I haven't toured with Adam, but we're playing tomorrow together too. So we're playing in Jacksonville tomorrow and then Saturday at the Bowl. Yeah, that'd be great. Come out. Yeah, this one's about where I grew up. Little town called Nashville, Georgia. Where the pines touch heaven, I call it. Way down where the pines touch heaven, there's some folks living in hell, where there's too many prayers unanswered and wishes wasted in the well. Where the promise from the prophets, Lord, I guess they just forgot 'em. 'Cause way down here we fall harder from the bottom. Well, they tore down the old home place and put in the liquor store. Now Daddy won't quit drinking, he'll just keep drinking more. There's a church house on the corner, Lord, just ain't solved the problem. 'Cause way down here we fall harder from the bottom. Well, there ain't enough money to go around. They're busy sending it off to the killing grounds. There ain't enough money to pay your dues. That only lines the pockets of the precious few. Well, there ain't enough liquor to lead you right. You'll wind up in a ditch in the middle of the night. There ain't enough money to dig your grave, so pray awake tomorrow for another day. There's factories in the city. They say here the water's clean, but they're digging limestone just up the road and pouring poison in the creek. Well, they say war and progress is the only way to guarantee a garden. But way down here we fall harder from the bottom. Way down here, we fall harder from the bottom. That gal. Where the pines touch heaven. Try a really, really, really new one. I kind of want to play it tomorrow, so it's a good excuse for me. Do you really feel proud when you're holding a flag with your boot on your brother's and your sister's back, with your hand on a Bible and your head in the sand? Do you really feel proud when you're holding a flag? Well, it ain't up to God, ain't up to no man. You were here long before you were born, my friend. Maybe we fell together in a Permian rain. Now we're trying to make sense of Anthropocene pain. So do you really feel proud when you're holding a flag with your boot on your mother's and your father's back, with your hand on a Bible and your head in the sand? Do you really feel proud when you're holding a flag? All the tears we meant to cry manifested as a rope. I keep praying there's a river in the valley below. All the tears we meant to cry, like bullets passing through the night, in one ear and out the other, might be the only way to hide. In one ear and out the other, might be the only way to hide. Thanks, y'all. A real dark one for you. I don't know what to call that one. Yeah, it's something. That one's kind of a poem. That I was like, I can turn that into a song. I appreciate it. Kind of what I want it to be, I think. Thank you. Yeah, I've been bringing prints to shows. It works out really well sometimes. Just depends. Do what? Doesn't hurt at all, no. All right, I got time for one more. I'll do the title track off this CD that I got right here. It's The Great American Highway. So this song is called The Great American Highway. This is sort of kind of like a talking blues song about taking a long road trip with no destination. However, if you hear the words, you'll listen through the end and be like, oh, there's a destination, and it's just perfectly falls in line with all the darkness I've already sang to you, but this one's at least, this song is in a package that's not quite as dark. Anyways, oh, it's gonna be right here. The Great American Highway, it is the title track off that CD right there. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate you listening. I'm Kyle Keller. I'm here usually the first Tuesday of the month is usually when I'm here, and I do a songwriter round with my buddy Bill, and we have a special guest each month. So it's like 3 of us up here, and we take turns singing songs, telling stories. Always super fun. So come back one of those days if y'all want to hear some more from me and some from my friends who are also amazing. And today I'm actually here because someone had canceled, and Danny called me like last week. He was like, someone canceled Wednesday, you want to play? And I played last Tuesday too. I was like, sure, why not? Any chance to play music, I'm going to jump on it. But anyways, thanks for listening, y'all. Kyle Keller. See you around hopefully soon, and here's The Great American Highway.
We're somehow starting your engine about 7 o'clock in the morning when you're looking down that highway with thoughts you got to get to sorting and getting ready for a drive, thinking of the who's, the where's, and why's, and why the ways of the world end in so much suffering. Well, I headed out of Gainesville. I took a pit stop up in Waynesville. Someone asked me for $1, but I gave him 5. Well, I was looking at all the people, all their good and all their evil, just none of us gonna make it out of this world alive. And so I busted out of that town back down the great American highway, maybe looking for a place that I could call my home. And when I looked at all the trees and all the mountains and the streams, I wonder how in the hell could anyone ever feel alone? Oh, well, then I got to thinking, you know, home, it ain't some kind of place. It's a feel-good feeling you get down in your bones. Well, you can find it in a lover, in the winter or the summer, or you can find it out here on the open road. Well, then my car got to shaking from all the miles I was making, and it caught on fire, so I rolled it down a hill. And then I rolled my eyes and laughed at all the good times I've had, and that piece of shit car I wouldn't even steal. I stuck my thumb up in the wind, and some trucker picked me up, and he said, "Son, I'll help you find a place to stay." Well, I said, "Sir, you're sure a blessing." And when he asked where I was headed, I said, "Buddy, we're all just heading to the grave." Thanks, y'all. That's the Great American Highway. The destination you heard at the end. A little dark. It's fun, though. It's a fun one. Got to make light of it. That would be great. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate you listening. See you next time.